Hey everybody, I'm Jesse, and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks. And today I'm going to talk about No King's Day again. And to preface this episode, I have to let y'all know this isn't about Republican, Democrat, left, right, progressive, conservative, whatever. I don't care. I really don't. And I just like to say that this is about stupidity and common sense. That's it. Just people being stupid. And the thing that really gets me is the age of a lot of these people. A lot of these people doing this shit are older than us. They're baby boomers and senior citizens and shit. And they're out there, dressing up like tacos and wearing those stupid hats and shit and protesting No King's Day. And just being morons. I don't know how else to say it. The moronitude, the stupidity is mind-boggling. And this is the generation of people who are supposed to be setting an example for the young kids. And to watch this level of stupidity, and again, I'm not talking about their protesting Trump or whatever. I don't care, protest Trump. But don't call it No King's Day. He's not a king. Okay? I don't think anywhere in the American continents is there a king. I've never heard of a king of Brazil or the king of Venezuela or anything like that. We've all got some form of democracy. We here in the United States, we have a constitutional republic, which a lot of people mistakenly call a democracy. They think we're a democracy because they're just uninformed and they have no desire to be informed. But we are not a democracy. A democracy is a horrible political form of government. But besides that, they're out there. They're protesting in favor of democracy. That's one of the big things they're talking about, of course, is democracy, because that's what idiots talk about. Because they don't know, they don't have the desire or the willpower to dig a little deeper and find out the facts about these things. They have no idea what democracy is, or what our countries run on, or any other country on the planet. They just think democracy is a good thing because they've been told that it's a good thing, and so they're protesting for democracy, and they don't even realize that they're not in a democracy. So that level of stupidity, and we have to separate stupidity from ignorance. Okay, I am ignorant. I am ignorant about a lot of things. All right, I don't know much about heart surgery, or how to fix a damn 2005 BMW. I'm not a mechanic. I'm ignorant about a lot of that stuff. There's just the decimal point can go on 99.9999 almost to infinity about the shit I don't know. I know very little about what happens on this planet. I am ignorant about most of it. So ignorance is not an insult. It's just not. It's just a fact. If I'm ignorant about something until I take the time to learn it. So being ignorant about a fact is not necessarily a bad thing. I thought we were a democracy for a long time. I thought all kinds of shit when I was younger and ignorant, but I grew up and I learned things and educated myself a little bit. The school system never educated me on that kind of stuff, right? How could I go through high school thinking that we are in a democracy? How is that possible? How could I go through high school not knowing that the Federal Reserve Bank is private? It's got nothing to do with our government. It's a completely private-owned organization. How can I graduate high school not knowing that? Okay. And that was back when high school was good, back when the education system worked. Now it's just completely broken. I have no idea how horrible it is. But anyway, back to the No King's Day thing. Now I came home from work yesterday, Saturday, and sat down, and my wife had the news on, and they had some lady up there at one of those No Kings rallies, and she was giving a speech. She looked like a politician. And just a complete moron. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know her name. I just watched a few minutes of it. But what she did was she was hacking on President Trump, talking about all the bad things he was doing, right? But she kept calling him President Trump. During a No King's Day rally, she kept referring to the president. The president. Okay? So just how stupid these people are. They can't even give their name of their rally an appropriate name. They just pull shit out of the air. We don't have a king. Never had a king. King's got nothing to do with anything in the United States. Never has. Hopefully never will. But I can see England having a No King's Day rally, or some other country that actually has a king or has had a king in the past, or something to do with king. We don't have anything to do with a king over here. We have presidents. And to say that Donald Trump wants to be a king, if that's what they're reaching for, if that's their reach, he lost an election in 2019 and walked away. He walked away. He had to run again. So he didn't try to stay and be king. He didn't try to stay and be king. I don't know how else you can say that and them understand. They lived through it too. They lived through it. They watched him walk away for 4 years. He disappeared for 4 years while Biden was president. And I don't care if it was reversed. If it was Biden and the Republicans doing this dumb shit, then I'd be calling it out for stupid too. It's stupid. And most of the people who watch me regularly know I will criticize Trump in a heartbeat. I don't have any problem criticizing Trump. I don't have any problem criticizing any of my leaders. I don't care if I voted for them or not. They're supposed to do the right shit. They're supposed to look out for me and my family and my countrymen and our best interests. They're not supposed to sell us down the road. Okay? And this is what really gets me about all this. They will come out en masse. 2,500 around there somewhere. I don't know the exact number, but of these political rallies, because you have to, here in the United States, you have to submit and get a license to have one of these political rallies, because our government wants their little cut, right? So you got to pay $150 or whatever it is. It might be 25, it might be 275. I have no idea. But you got to pay a little fee and get your license to protest or whatever. And they got 2,500 of these things throughout the United States, of these rallies that happened, or so thereabouts, over this No King's Day thing. But these people here that are doing this have been railroaded and robbed for decades by the government. Okay? Why don't they have a no tax day? 20 years ago they could have had a no tax day and tried to get rid of income tax. They rob us for 30% of our income, and that's okay. That's okay. We don't mind that. We don't mind that. Oh, send it to Venezuela for transgender comic books. Oh, that's okay. Waste my money, just piss my money away, rob me, and throw my money out the window. That's okay. That's fine. Make up reasons to go to war, and label it all democracy, and send our troops to go over there and kick in doors and guard poppy fields. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. That's fine. I'm not going to protest that. That's the government. But how dare someone, win an election and get up there and start following the law and sending illegal immigrants home back to their country? How dare he? That might actually raise the wages for that shit. Maybe Del Monte might have to raise the wages for their fruit and vegetable pickers. What a crime. What an absolute crime. What, Del Monte might have to pay a living wage to their workers. Holy shit, we can't have that. No King's Day. We got to do it. No King's Day. So the level, the speed with which we're racing toward idiocracy, it really baffles me. I watched that movie when it first came out, and it was so stupid. Oh my goodness, what a ridiculous movie. That's just so far in left field. That's just crazy. And here we are on a freight train headed right for it, dead for idiocracy. And they're not messing around. They're getting stupider by the dozen, and on purpose, meaningful. Man, I mean, meaning to get dumber, wanting to get dumber. And if you say more than a monosyllabic word, you're racist. You're acting too white. If you say a word that might be, and maybe if you have a decent vocabulary and you're a person of color, then you're a race traitor. It's just propaganda to dumb down the population. Got nothing to do with race at all. That's just what they just cling on to race and all these hot button topics, trying to get their agenda across. Their globalism, their all this shit, and a stupid population is just right up their alley. Yeah, if you made me king of a group of people, I would want them to be as dumb as hell. It's easier to control cattle and sheep out there in the field when they're dumb. Let them get smart. Then you got Animal Farm, right? Then you got Animal Farm. You don't want Animal Farm. You don't want that shit. You don't want your population uprising and getting intelligent on you and deciding that you're bad for killing them. You don't want that. I would want a dumb population. So I would figure that the rulers of the world, those elites up there, would want a dumb population, because I would. So that just makes sense to me. And then they still haven't figured out that these damn protests they got out there, and they wore their taco suits, and they've dressed up as animals and all this shit, and they still haven't figured out that shit accomplishes absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. They're not going to get in. Nothing's going to change. They're just out there shouting in the wind, and nothing is going to happen. They don't know. They don't understand how anything works, so they're just going to jump out on the street and make a bunch of noise, and then it's going to go away, and nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit about your Daffy Duck suit or whatever the hell you're wearing. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your No King's Day. Not even the people who went out there and ran around in their suit, Not even the people who dressed up for Halloween early and went out and run around with you. They don't care. Nobody gives a shit. So they're wasting their time. They're wasting their energy when they could be focused on things that actually matter. Okay? Setting a good example for young people, number one. Number two, protesting against things that actually that are actually real. Since there aren't any kings in America, maybe protest taxes. Taxes are real. There are actually taxes. There is actually war. There are actually monopolies that control our country and our government. These type of things. Capitalism is being destroyed. I mean, it's already been destroyed, but it's still in the process of getting worse. Although it's 95% of the way there. There are large, important matters that need to be protested and should be protested, and they are ignored. I mean, completely ignored by these fools. And that's why we're headed toward idiocracy, and why this No King's Day is the dumbest shit anybody could ever come up with, ever, in America anyway. Like I said, maybe in Europe somewhere where they still have a monarchy and royalty and shit, and they're getting shit on by kings and queens and stuff. Yeah, No King's Day. And I would support that if America stood up in unison with them. Okay, no King's Day for England or whatever, whoever is being treated badly. No King's Day for, you know, Yugoslavia or whatever country has a king. I'm not up on all the politics in every country, so I don't know, except for England. So I don't know, but I would support that. Us supporting another country in a No King's Day, but us just, you know, I mean, that's like doing a No Dogs Day and saying that, you know, that we're doing a No Dogs Day because we don't like Garfield because he eats too much lasagna. You know what I mean? Well, Garfield's a cat. You ever think about that? Did that ever, you know, cross your mind anywhere that Garfield's a cat? So why the no dog? Why is dog? How dog get into this? How did dog get into that? How did king get into this? We don't have kings, you know. So just the stupidity is unrelenting and getting worse. Gen X, we're either going to save it or we're going to watch it crumble. One or the other. Who knows? Who cares, right? Who cares? Whatever, dude. Whatever, man. Just let it happen. All right. Well, I'll leave you there with that. I hope y'all get back to enjoying the pre-recorded videos. And I'm going to get back. Hopefully I won't be working so many hours from this point on into the future. We'll start doing some different stuff. I'll have more time to devote to the channel. So thank y'all for watching. If you're interested in supporting the channel, I'd invite you to become a member and get your name down there on the banner. Your support is so appreciated. These people here, Kathy Snyder, Jimmy Sharp, Wiley Ann, they've been supporting the channel for a long time, and I appreciate them to death. Bucky Nave, Laic Gullickson, Dwayne Avery, all of it. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. So thank you very much. Rusty Doob, April Lucas, Vintage 65. Straight out of Australia. And anyway, yeah, I invite you to do that. I'll leave that link down in the description, or you can head over to the channel page and become a member that way. If you want to support the channel directly, you can do so by clicking on that super thanks button down there, and also the hype button. You can press that hype button down there and hype this video if you really like it. Also give it a thumbs up if you're still watching. I appreciate that. If you're interested in Gen X gear, we got some pretty cool stuff over there at Redbubble. Gen X things and Gen X branded stuff, t-shirts, hats, coffee mug stickers, all kinds of cool stuff. But I invite you to go check that out if you're interested, and I'll put that link down in the description. What else? Oh, if you can't or don't want to support the channel in any of those ways, you can always do so by sharing my videos on your social media. That helps out a hell of a lot, so thank you very much to those of you who do that. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.